And some of us may be okay with it and some of us may disagree, but that's life on Earth. He does this. Not all of us will agree. You know that saying we always say, let's agree to disagree. He's doing something like that. He just wants us to know that we are being observed, watched, monitored to see our progress. And overall, although we may not understand these changes that are taking place on Earth, and we may not agree with these changes taking place on Earth, I am channeling Archangel Metatron today, and I'm really, really excited because I don't often channel him, and I have channeled some guidance from him already, which is a little bit surprising. He wants to talk about what we type online in comments, and he's also talking about the bigger, broader perspective of when we recycle back onto Earth, aka reincarnation. So this is what he wants to chat about today. And right after I channel this guidance from him, I'm going to see if he wants to say a few more words. Then I'd like to talk about some of the experiences I've had with Archangel Metatron. Join the forces of good. Okay? And that he has a special message for each of us. I'm like, okay. So part of what he sees joining the forces of good is reaching out in regards to what we type online, what comments we leave in comments boxes below people's videos or posts. And then you see post after post after post over, and then under these posts, and everybody has their opinions and everybody likes to share what they're thinking. And when I'm reading it, some of it, it's come to my realization in my own brain that I understand that this is a part of the unveiling on Earth, is a part of expressing information, knowledge, and at times a broader perspective. It's showcasing maybe what we think we know. Oh, look, others know more information. And then it can get into being sarcastic, and then it can move into other forms of trolling, etc. Okay, so are we ready to rumble? Here we go. Hope you're ready. Okay, so here's the message from Archangel Metatron. Some of you may think you are right and even righteous with the words you type in the comments. Some of you are being guided to type certain messages and information into the comments. It is important to understand that if you hold bitterness or anger in your heart, it is best to wait, hold back, and not type in the comments at this time. So the key is to wait until you simmer down a bit. You are meant to share information, thoughts, and opinions, but it is equally important to lift each other up, to support one another, help one another, and be a part of the forces of good changes on Earth, to not demean, put down, or prove your point to no end. Remember, we do this together on Earth. And you will recycle back here repeatedly until your presence is no longer needed, meaning you are no longer a vibrational match to incarnate repeatedly here on Earth. Or until the right moment to move forward to other planets, dimensions, or to help those recycling back to Earth repeatedly. So if you understood that, he's talking about, You might just not be a vibrational match to Earth any longer, or coming back. There's no purpose or point. It's not a frequency match. Or you're going to leave Earth and help those who continue to come to Earth, but from the other side. So you might play the role of their spirit guide. You might help some souls from your soul group be a spirit guide, or help in many other ways. Or you might go off into other dimensions. You might lift and raise in frequency and no longer be a vibrational match to this frequency, or go and decide to incarnate on other planets, in other locations. One of the surprising things for me when I started channeling spirit on a regular basis was that there were planets that were not physical. They were energy centers that used to be a planet, or maybe never were a planet, and souls would go and hang out there, but it's not a physical place. So if we look at everything really in truth, it is all energy. It's just our perception of what we're experiencing. And everything here is temporary. Nothing will tell you that more than when we are asked a question about your great-great-grandmother or your great-great-great-grandfather. You're not going to remember, and you're probably not going to care. Right? So everything here is a temporary seeming reality, is what I repeatedly get told. So let's see if he has anything else he'd like to channel through me. And then I'd like to talk a little bit about my own experiences with Archangel Metatron and how I've experienced him. And I'd like to hear from you guys if you have had experiences with him too. It's really cool to hear your experiences, because it's one thing to have my own, but it's kind of cool to see if it matches up in any confirmation with what you guys experience. Okay, he's just talking about, tumultuous times on Earth, tumultuous times. And it's up to us whether we're going to react or respond to these tumultuous times. And he's talking about realizing and understanding that these moments are also temporary. It takes a lot to move in a different direction. The direction that we were moving in on Earth with these governments, a lot of them were moving in this direction. Puppeteers, if you will, with other individuals of importance, if you will, who are really the mastermind behind all of this. He's just listing off like BlackRock, WEF, all the rest of them. And he just wants us to know that it's going to take some time and some changes, and not all of the changes we're going to agree with, but overall for the whole, for the security and the safety of the people, it's important that we understand that these changes are necessary. How they're done, how they're completed is to be determined. And some of us may be okay with it and some of us may disagree, but that's life on Earth. He does this. Not all of us will agree. That saying we always say, let's agree to disagree. He's doing something like that. He just wants us to know that we are being observed, watched, monitored to see our progress. And overall, although we may not understand these changes that are taking place on Earth, and we may not agree with these changes taking place on Earth, they want you to know that they feel as though we are moving in a better direction. Okay, yeah. All right, so one of my experiences with Archangel Metatron, I don't know if you guys have had these experiences, but he's very large. Also, I can tell that energetically, say Archangel Michael, for example, he's really watching over Earth. His main focus is on us here on Earth. Whereas Metatron is here on Earth, but I can tell he's watching over many other planets, many other souls elsewhere. And he really takes an interest, I suppose, in souls that have had really unique or different incarnations off Earth. I haven't met anyone that has only incarnated on Earth. We usually try it out elsewhere and then we come to Earth. Earth isn't where you just jump in and see how it goes. Earth is where you come when you've had some experience under your belt first, then you come to Earth. And that's my experience after over 4,000 readings. And I've seen it time and time again. So those souls or those people that have had incarnations or experiences in other bodies, other places that are a lot different than being in this body on Earth as a human, he takes a keen shine to them because what I've noticed is that he is really keeping a watchful eye on them, almost like a added spirit guide, just helping them have an easier go of it or an easier transition here on Earth, which I really think is fantastic. Energetically, vibrationally, he feels more, if I'm going to use my human words, he feels more electrically charged. He feels like electric. Sometimes I feel like I think about lightning when I'm communicating with him. He's very sharp and he's very observant and he's very straight to the point. And I can tell vibrationally he's elsewhere off Earth. I can just feel that. And one night we were having a lot of energy come in. This was probably about 8 years ago. So I go outside and I'm going to go ground myself. What do? I sit next to a tree and I let the tree's energy wash through me and ground me because I'm just getting bombarded with light frequency. And this was in the very beginning of ascension for me. Everybody told me it was going to happen September 1st. I was like, okay, sounds good. So I go outside and I don't think he thought that I would be able to hear him. So I'm grounding outdoors and all of a sudden I hear this through the air and then this thud, like Superman. And then this ripple of energy out from where he landed. And I was like, oh my God. In my mind, I said, what was that? And then he chuckled and he apologized. And I was like, okay. He was just visiting me. But it was immense amount of energy, immense amount of power. And I don't think he thought that I would hear that. Did I hear it outside of myself? No. What I did was when you have quiet and peace and stillness, or you choose to be more peaceful and quiet in your mind, you can then hear them. But if you're racing all the time, so practice a quiet mind to hear what they are saying or what they're doing. The other thing I noticed is he created like this portal along the park where he still to this day will come in and out of and chat with me. So I sit on the park bench and I'll chat with him. But that day he came from straight up in the sky and landed so loud. It startled me. I know that no one is purposely trying to scare me or bother me. They wouldn't want to do that. Why would they want to do that? So I thought in the moment, oh, what was that? And then he just informed me. I said, oh, okay. So not much startles me because I know that they got my back. And when I see him, he's very large. I've seen him with like a tan and white or like different shades of brown and then white or cream wings on him. But again, this is just how he's presenting. Other times you can see them and they'll show what they really are, which is light, energy, right? But how I interpret more of a human-like presence or how we have been told angels or archangels should look like. That's how I see him. So I'm curious to see how you guys see him, or have you seen him? Other things I notice, he'll use his Merkaba on you. So he will do that. Just to let you know that this Sunday, I'm going to be working with Archangel Metatron and talking about sacred geometry, a remote healing, which is happening this Sunday at 9 a.m. PST. But again, if you can't make it for the healing, that's okay, because you can always come in then over the next 2 days, and also you'll be emailed. Every time you're watching it or watching something and it bombards you, you get that healing repeated every time you watch it. So that's $33 coming up. Also, I only have 2 spots left this week. If you guys are interested in having a reading at 30% off for Valentine's Day. Next week, I only have 6 spots left. So if that's something you're drawn to, you can do that too. Ooh. So has anybody had any experiences with Metatron? That's what I'm wondering. What? I just want to see what you guys say. It's interesting because there's some archangels that you'll be really drawn towards. And why are you drawn to some archangels but not as much to others? Simply put, it's because they're closer to you, they're working with you. Maybe you've had a lot of incarnations with them. Maybe you made an agreement with them that they will come and help you and work with you in this lifetime. Whereas other archangels, I don't have as much experience with, I'm not as drawn to. So with Metatron, I'll chat with him and such, but he's not my top go-to. Michael is the one that is my top go-to. Whereas a friend of mine in Ireland, she's so into Metatron, like big time. What I've noticed with him is he's very sharp and very direct. I've never heard Metatron really have a humor, whereas Archangel Michael can be direct, but also humorous and make me laugh and a little quick-witted. And I don't know, maybe Archangel Michael has this humor because he's been here so long on Earth and he knows that I like to laugh. So he pulls it out. Why is that? Why does Michael have a bit more of a humor and you are... Okay. He says it's based on their directives as to what is needed in that area, in that moment. So Earth needs direction and guidance from Michael, but it also needs humor and upliftment and light. And Michael will work through individuals like myself to uplift humanity through laughter and light, comments, jovial words, guidance. But he says also, he's doing this with his finger, Michael can be very direct when need be. Whereas where Metatron is headed, off Earth, humor isn't as necessary or needed or doesn't play a role of importance like it is needed here on Earth. So some of the locations off Earth are more intellectual. They don't operate in ways of humor. Or the other reason why he's saying is because they are already uplifted at a high frequency. So they already keep themselves entertained, light-filled thoughts, feelings, emotions. And so they don't need to pull out. He's showing like pulling out the humor card to make them laugh. That is too funny. But Archangel Michael, like in one sentence, can go from, sternly talking to someone and then getting them to see a broader perspective through humor and light and laughter. It's like when I was suffering with my dental care, I would hear Jesus come in, for example, and say, you know, back in my day when I was walking earth back then, there were no dentists, there was no toothbrushes, there was no dental care, no toothpaste like you have now. I'm like, all right. So he was just trying to, cheer me up, let me know that the end is near as well, where I would have my teeth replaced, which was wonderful. But it was, miracles happen all the time, people. So even when you think it's absolutely no way possible, remember when you ask them for help or backup, they'll find a way. They'll work or operate through other people, or in your dream state, or. I had a beautiful dream yesterday. I thought it was a dream, but then it seemed so real. So I said to my guardian angel, I said, is this real or is this just a dream? So I double checked. Tuffy came to me in the dream, and we were on a train, and he was on his back and he wanted his chest rubbed. And I remember just, wow, look how soft his fur is. I remember how soft this was. And he was holding his head next to my head, and we were just enjoying each other's company, and he was smiling, and he was basking in the sun coming through the train window. And so when our loved ones or our pets or whomever, if they feel that we need them for comfort and support, they will come through your dream state and help you. Just sitting and enjoying his frequency, his energy. And he's so happy. And it felt like absolute pure bliss. So when I woke up yesterday morning, it felt like it was so heavenly. I wanted to go back. Put me on the train again. Please. Tuffy needs me. He doesn't need me. But clearly Tuffy thought that I needed him. So when we're sleeping, they will come to us. Do you want to say any last words? He just wants us to think twice before we type in any comments area. The energy that you're spreading out there vibrationally through your words impacts and affects others. And it's really important that we understand that you don't always have to put others on notice. Oh my goodness. So I don't know if you guys have heard that, but it's like, I'm going to put you on notice. I'm going to check you. I'm going to let you know what's what. Okay? You don't always have to do that. And if people want to believe what they want to believe, if they want to follow whom they want to follow, people are interested in the truth for the most part. And there's enough of us awakening and getting it on earth that we don't need to, he's doing this, like combat against others in the comments area under every post, every video. He says, save your energy for better days instead of constantly giving your energy away to put people on notice all the time. It's a waste of your energy time. So he's just asking you to step back. It'll drain your energy, and if it's not important, if you're not feeling compelled or guided to do it, then don't leave a comment. I'll see you this Sunday for the remote healing with Metatron. And also, I will see you on Instagram with Paul Milches this Sunday as well at 11 a.m. Love you guys. Love ya. Bye.